Greetings. Hello. Just got in from shopping. Thought I'd show what I got. Oh, my back. Oh, jeez, that hurts. Yeah, that's an Australian summer. This has been a mild summer, but by God, look at that. You don't get that sort of light in the Northern Hemisphere, mate. It's blinding. Okay, yeah, I just haven't been able to go and, check out the Salvation Army or St. Vinny's because of COVID and there hasn't been much. People haven't been donating things, but I just got an urge today. I thought I'd better go and have a look. And sure enough, there were no records because 10 years ago they started pulling all the good donations and sending them off to head office, and they sell them on eBay. It's a shame. That was my whole source of finding 45s in particular was through the thrift shops and the charity stores, but that's long, long gone. But there was at least something. Um, I got three classic books, one of which I already have. The wonderful, fantastic His Master's Voice by Jim Keys, the singer of his master, the Master's Apprentices, and this is in great condition. Actually, it's in better condition than my copy. So now I have two copies. So if anyone wants it, if you pay the postage, I'll send it to you. Now, two classics here. This is one I had in the day. The NME, of course, was my Bible for decades, and one of the best writers there. I think he was with NME. He could have been with Melody Maker. Can't remember. Charles Shaw Murray, and this is a classic book, Crosstown Traffic, and I had this in the day, back in the 70s or the 80s, whenever this came out. Crosstown Traffic. This is a classic. This is like the masterwork on Jimi Hendrix, and this is this is a 1991 copy. So yeah, maybe it did come out then. But it is. It's an absolute ripper, and I was so happy to find that for $2. These are all $2. There's only three of them here. Oh, and one other thing I have to do too, and this one is also the classic on the Rolling Stones. Old Gods Almost Dead. Very thick book. Just it is sort of the ultimate Stones book. It really is great, and I think this probably would have come out around a similar time. Obviously, someone in my age bracket's died around here recently, and these have been, deceased estate or something. So, yeah, can't see a date on this one. This would be early 2000s or early 1990s. Fantastic book. Right, so that's I'm quite happy with it. You just get a slight buzz. Oh yeah, I just got the urge. I've always had that really good instinct for things like that. Come on, sorry, just a second. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sorry, little mischief ears wants to come in. Say hello. Hello. Okay, I'll get you something to eat in a minute. And something I have to show is I played this the other day. My friend James did this for me, 20, 30 years ago or something. Rust Come With Me. This is, a burnt, what do you call it? He's burnt it. Um, this is an outrageously fantastic album. If you love early 70s psych rock, fuzz guitar, great. Every track is great. Come with me. You thought you had it made. Please return. Please return. Should I think big? Rust delusion doesn't add up to me. Find a hideaway. Come with me. And the endless struggle. Every track is a ripper. Um, Aussie guy, Creepy John Thomas, used to be in a band called The Flies with Ronnie Burns back in 1964. Um, Ronnie Burns is a huge pop star in Australia. Um, he was the bass player, John Thomas, and he went off to, his story sort of matches mine, which I didn't really realise, except he did it 10 years earlier than me. He went to Dusseldorf in the late 60s. I went there in the late 70s. He had a German girlfriend from Dusseldorf, same as me. And then he recorded this album at Connie Plank Studios in Cologne with the wonderful Connie Plank, who did Autobahn, and many other krautrock classics. So, yeah, Creepy John Thomas, that's him right in the front there, in the middle on the police bike, and the two other guys are English guys. It was just a three-piece, and he, it's just an outrageously fantastic album. It's up there. It's like there's another album I champion endlessly. It's Quatermass, and they should have been as big as Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple, or bigger. And they just disappeared without a trace virtually. And the same with Rust. It is out so good, beautifully recorded. Connie Plank, for crying out loud. Great guitar sounds. It's one of those wonderful albums which I love. It's a sound experience in that each track overlaps into the next, and in between there are things like there'll be a jet roars flies past over in the speakers. One song starts to end, and you hear a jet go, whoa, and then the next song there'll be like a police bike. It's just beautifully done, so well produced. Connie Plank, thumbs up, old boy. You're no longer with us, but this is a terrific sounding record, terrific. Every track's a winner. Yeah, so he did go on to I think he still lives in Berlin. He's had a band called Johnny and the Drivers for decades, and he's around the traps, a couple of years older than me. But yeah, it's just funny that, and I was just reading, going, hang on, I did that, but I did all the things that he did 10 years after he did them, except of course ended up living in Berlin and being in a band. But yeah, so I just got an urge to play it the other night, and man, what a great album! So if you see it, it is available on CD. But it is called Rust Underground, and it's got a really ugly cover, but it's a great album. So if you like that early 70s psych heavy rock with great melody, I cannot recommend that enough. Guten Tag. Bye now.